Hello my students and welcome to Mdrasa again. My fourth year students, today we are going to move to the second point of our first sequence, which was sequence 1. Let's remember together the title of sequence 1. It was about what? Sequence 1, it was about me, universal landmarks, and outstanding figures in history, literature, and arts. Of course, this is our previous lesson that we have done last time. The second part, this is considered as a second part. Now, we see a new point, which is about outstanding figures. The outstanding figures. Of course, we remember last time we have seen the universal landmark. We finished with the universal landmark. We have seen famous buildings and famous places in such countries. So today or now we are going to see outstanding figures, the famous persons. Let's see together some examples. Who is he? This is a picture. Okay. Yes, an influential figure in history, an important figure in history, famous person in history. We look at his picture. So let's read together or let's get some information about this person. The first information. Yes, he is Napoleon Bonaparte, who was born in 1769 in Corsica. We see here he is Napoleon Bonaparte, who was born in 1769 in Corsica. So the first example we see here was born in 1769 in Corsica. The second information about him, he was French. What's this? He was French. His nationality. Okay? This is his nationality. He was French. He was a French military. He was a French military. His profession, his job, his occupation. He died in 1821. He died in 1821. His death in 1821. The second example. This is a picture. So let's see together who is he. Famous figure in arts. So we have seen famous figure in history. But now famous figure in art. So who is he? So let's read together or get some information about this picture. Yes, he is William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon. You see here? He was English. His nationality, he was English. He was an English poet and actor. Yes, his job, a poet and actor. We have here, he died in 1616. His death was in 1616. Let's see together here. His famous work was his play, Romeo and Juliet. And of course, we heard about Romeo and Juliet play. His famous work, his famous play was Romeo and Juliet. This is William Shakespeare's important or famous play. This is the last information about William Shakespeare. Let's see together here the last example. We have a picture as usual. Then we have famous figure in art. Another example, another important famous figure in art. We read some information about him. The first information, of course, his name. Pablo Picasso. We have Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso was born in 1881 in Spain. In Spain. The second information. He was Spanish. His nationality was Spanish. He was a Spanish painter. You see here, painter. He drew. He paints. You see here, he was a Spanish painter. His job, his occupation, his profession, a painter. He died in 1973. His death was in 1973. His famous work, Guernica. Guernica is one of his most famous paintings. We have here, Guernica is one of his most famous paintings. Let's together move to the next point, which was about how to write an ID card about any famous figure, any person. How to write an ID card. What does it mean? ID card, identity card, information about any famous or any important figure, any important person. We see here, this is our card. The information inside it will be about the ID card or bio card. What does it mean, bio card? Biography. It's information about person. Bio card or ID card. It's information about the figures, an important, famous, any figure. We see together here the first name. This is just an example. We will here give an example about an American writer. We have the first name, Ernest. Example. The surname, family name, Hemingway. This is an example. The first name, Ernest Hemingway. He is an American writer. Date of birth. You see here, we have to mention date of birth. Here, when was he born? July 21st, 1899. You see here? So we start in ID card with the first name, surname or family name, date of birth, when he was born or when was he or she born. The next information, place of birth. Where? Place. Where was he or she born? Not date, place. Example, Ernest Hemingway on July 21, 1899 in Ketchum, Idaho. We'll see which place. Nationality. Yes, we took the nationality. From where? He is American, from America. You see here, nationality, American. Ernest Hemingway is an American writer. His nationality is American. Date of death. When did he die? Of course. Example here, Ernest Hemingway. He died on July 2 or 2nd July 1961. The date of death. The last, or before the last one maybe, occupations. His job, his profession. What did he do? He is an author. He is a writer, author. Then we move to the last point, his or her famous works. What did he do? What's his important works? Example, according to Ernest Hemingway, The Old Man and the Sea was his famous story. So, with this example, we can do some exercise. So let's move to the next part. We see here, I read, listen, and do. The same thing as we have done in our previous lesson. We have to read a text, we listen, and do our exercise. So let's get started. Yes, we have here the text. We read, follow me. Galileo Galilei was born on February 15, 1564 in Pisa, Italy. and he died on January 8, 1642. He was an Italian natural astronomer. He works in space. An astronomer. He made the fundamental contributions to the science of motion and astronomy. Galileo improved upon the telescope. He invented telescope and he discovered telescope and invented an early type of thermometer. Galileo discovered the 4 biggest moons of Jupiter, now called the Galilean moons, and the rings of Saturn. These are both. So, these 2 planets. We reread the text again. So listen, reread, listen, then we do. The second time. Galileo Galilei was born on February 15, 1564 in Pisa, Italy. And he died. We see here he died. The date on January 8, 1642. He was an Italian. He was an Italian natural astronomer. He made fundamental contributions to the sciences of motion and astronomy, space. Galileo improved upon the telescope and invented an early type of thermometer. Galileo discovered the 4 biggest moons of Jupiter, and this discovery now called the Galilean moons, and the rings of Saturn. Information about Galileo Galilei. We reread the text 3rd time. Galileo Galilei was born on February 15, 1564 in Pisa, Italy, and he died on January 8, 1642. He was an Italian natural astronomer. He made fundamental contributions to the sciences of motion and astronomy. Galileo improved upon the telescope and invented an early type of thermometer. Galileo discovered the 4 biggest moons of Jupiter, now called the Galilean moons, and the rings of Saturn. So, my students, from this text, we have to do or to complete an ID card about this person. Let's see together our card. Complete the ID card, the bio card. We see here, yes, the ID card or bio card, information about the figures. We have the first name. We talked about him. His name, first name. Yes, very good, the first name. Surname. After that. Good. Date of birth. Next. Yes, place of birth. Nationality, right. Date of death. Occupations, job or profession. Next one, his or her famous work. So according to the previous text, we have to complete our information, of course, to form a full and correct ID card, of course, from our previous text. We start. Yes, my student. Who was the person that we have talked about? His first name was, yes, very good, he was Galileo. Good, he was Galileo. Surname or family name? Come on. Yes, good. Galilei. Then we move to date of birth. What do you think, my students? Yes, good. It's mentioned in the text as on February he was born Date of birth, he was born on February 15, 1564. Good. The next point, place of birth. Where was he born? Yes, good, my student. He was born in Pisa. He was born in Pisa. Nationality, where was Pisa in? Good, he is Italian. Pisa in Italy. So he was Italian. Date of death. Together, my students. Yes, very good. It was on January 8, 1642. Good. Occupations. His job, his profession. He was what? He was, yes, my student. Good. An astronomer. He worked in space. An astronomer. Good. How about his or her famous works? Yes, what did he do? An important or famous works that he did before? Good. Firstly, the 4 biggest moons of Jupiter, the 4 biggest moons of Jupiter, and very good, my students, and the rings of Saturn, 2 planets. He discovered the 4 biggest moons of Jupiter and the rings of Saturn. My students, here we will finish our lesson today. Hope you have enjoyed with me. We have learned how to write an ID card about any famous figures. Don't forget here to, of course, subscribe and visit our website, Facebook page. Thank you very much. See you next time with a new lesson, and goodbye, my students.